Okay, Monday Night Sales Mastery. How are you? My name is Brian McNeill, and how you doing, Lynette? How you doing? All right, we're going to start promptly in 4 minutes, actually. So if you need to get you some water or whatever, how you doing? We're going to start promptly in 4 minutes. Get my rhino positioned here, get me positioned here. Got my rhino looking over my shoulder. We're about to get this thing in. Okay. All right. Share to a group. I'm going to share this in a couple of groups tonight. Share this in Rockstars. Post. I'm going to share this in, let's see, Selling Your Services Academy, definitely. Post it there. And I'm going to share this in a group. Improve your sales mastery. Cool. That's what we're going to do. All right. Hey, Coach Lynette, how you doing? Tonight we're going to learn about an often overlooked secret of selling. And we're going to talk about emotion versus logic. Now, and we're going to start in 3 minutes, actually. 3 minutes we're going to start this thing off. Now, who would come to this class? Who would take a class like this on selling? On a Monday night, you worked all day long and you tried to build your business. How you doing, Brother Jacatron? Jacatron, I'm going to get it right. Thanks for coming. And we're going to start exactly at 9:05 on the dot. This gives me a chance to share a few things with a few folks before I really get it in. Yeah, I think this is a towel that I was using for sweat, actually. I sweat freely. But we're going to learn some stuff tonight, starting exactly 2 minutes from now. Emotion versus logic. This is what's up, brother? This is a secret to selling yourself effectively. The reason why I do this for free for 30 minutes, actually on every Monday night, called Monday Night Sales Mastery, and I replay it at 2 p.m. on Tuesdays. You're very welcome. And I'm going to share some knowledge tonight, too. And everyone that takes part tonight will be better at selling themselves and their services than they were before I started. And this is not what I hope to accomplish, this is what I know will be true. Now, why should you listen to me? Well, my name is Brian McNeill, and I own 2 companies. I own a company called Very Personal Sales Coaching. I own another company called the Selling Your Services Academy. And we're going to talk about a little bit about that, too. The Selling Your Services Academy is an affordable way that I can do group sales training. We conduct those on Wednesday evenings at 9. That's a way to make it affordable for the same high-level training that I get paid thousands of dollars to teach. But with this lockdown, we've learned some different things. We're going to start exactly in 1 minute. We're going to get into it. And I've had a very busy morning and a busy afternoon, but I've had a really relaxing evening because I had a chance. How you doing, Brother Kevin? How you doing, Cousin Angela? And we're going to start exactly in 1 minute from now. But the people that will come here tonight, I already know some things about you. I already know that the people that would tune in for something like this instead of watching TV that they don't really like, the ones that come to this kind of training are already demonstrating that you're champions. You know, the old rap lyric from the great poets of the 80s. How you doing, Ijana? The great rap lyric. Listen up, homeboy, give this a thought. The next time someone's teaching, why don't you get taught? And it's like that. It's now 9:05. Let's get right into it. Now, we have very smart people. Now, people will buy from you. First off, people will buy from you for their reasons and not yours. They buy from you. They hire you for their reasons and not yours. Tonight, you're going to learn a secret that's going to definitely help you to sell better in the next 25 minutes. And I know this will be the case. Now, understanding that people will buy for their reasons instead of yours. People will hire you and buy from you for either emotional reasons or for logical reasons. Now, emotional reasons are the way they imagine that they're going to feel after they hire you, or the way they imagine they're going to feel after they buy from you. Logical reasons are because it's smart and it makes sense and it's a good deal. Now, what do you believe is a more compelling reason to hire you or buy from you? Emotion or logic? Someone put in the comments, what do you think is more compelling? What will make someone hire you faster? Emotion, the way they imagine they're going to feel, or logic, because it's a smart thing to do, or it makes sense? Now, for the interest of time, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you the answer. The answer is emotion. People buy what they want way faster than what they need. Emotion deals with the heart and logic deals with the brain. Now, when the heart and the brain are in conflict, the heart invariably wins. People don't buy Mercedes-Benz because they have good brakes. They buy the Mercedes-Benz because it's an ego rub. They imagine they're going to feel better about that. That's right, Arthur Lynette. They imagine they're going to feel better. They're going to drive that fine automobile instead of just an automobile. Both automobiles, the Mercedes and the Taurus, they both will get you there. But the Mercedes outsells the Ford. Why? Because of the ego rub. People buy what they want way faster than what they need. So what you do is understanding that emotion is a much more compelling source than logic. Now, I could break it down and prove it to you, but for the interest of time, I'm just going to tell you that. This is free sales training I offer. Why would I offer free sales training? Because I believe that God has uniquely qualified me to teach people to sell themselves and their services better than they ever have before, so they can earn more money than ever before. I've written 4 books on the subject of selling, and for the past 26 years of my life, I've dedicated myself to mastering the art of selling and mastering the art of teaching others to sell better. Now, understanding that emotion is much more compelling reason to buy than logic, you have got to learn how to sell emotionally. It's just emotions. Now, when you sell with emotions, you have to use your primary tools. And your primary tools you use are the words that you choose to say. The words that you choose to say. Now, some of you guys that are on this feed right now have been through my trainings before, and some of you have not. But even if you have, this will be a good refresher for you. You've got to learn how to sell emotionally, and your primary tool is the words that you choose. The number one word I want you guys to use a whole lot more often than you have been using is the most emotional word in the English language. It starts with an L, and guess what it is? The most emotional word in the English language starts with an L, and go ahead and guess what it is. Are you guessing? I'll just tell you. The most emotional word is the word love. Love. For those of you who sell services, I want you to become comfortable using the word love when you offer your services. That's right, Jacotron, it's love. Most adults have taught themselves how to become uncomfortable saying the word love. I am saying to you that I want you to use the word love when you offer your services much more often and much more comfortably. For example, you're going to love, or my clients love. Now, sometimes when I introduce the word love to people and I ask them, can you give me a sentence using the word love to offer your services? And they'll say things like, I love helping people with real estate, or I love helping people with their finances. I love makes you the star of the story. And that would be fine if you sold what you offer to yourself. But you don't sell to yourself, you sell to other people. So I don't want you to start talking about your services, talk about what you love. I want you to talk about what your clients will love. You will love. I appreciate the likes and all that kind of stuff too. I can't encourage you to like, because Facebook will put me in jail if I encourage you to hit the things, but y'all know what it is. Angela Wood says that's her favorite word. I want you to use the word when you're offering your services, and with the purpose of you're going to love. My clients love. I've helped people who have told me that they love. Love, love, love. Learn to use the word love when you're offering your services and let your clients be the star of the story about what they're going to love. That's the most emotional word in the English language. And I want you guys to start using the word much more comfortably when you offer your services. Tonight's talk is emotion versus logic. Now, all that talk, particularly if you're talking about something that involves numbers or makes sense, all that stuff, well, I'm saving you money. I'm saving you money. That's great. That makes sense. Look at it this way. 2 houses for sale and a buyer that could buy either house. One of the house is pretty and it's handsome and it's got great curb appeal, but it's a leaker. It costs more to maintain that house because the windows leak and because they have air leaks. Another house is kind of not as pretty, but it's insulated well. It's got good windows. Which one sells better, the pretty house or the not so pretty home? People buy the pretty house way faster because they imagine that they're going to like going to their home. Their ego is going to be rubbed. People buy what they want way faster than what they need. And you need to understand that. It's easier to fan the flame of a want than it is to create a fire of need. Does that make sense to you? I hope that it does. The most emotional word I want you to use much more often is the word love. Now, the second most emotional word in the English language starts with an H. The second most emotional word in the English language starts with an H. And it's not hate, because if I have an audience of one, someone guesses hate, but it's not. The second most emotional word in the English language is the word home. Home. H-O-M-E. Home is where the heart is. I'll be home for Christmas. There's no place like home. For most people, when they think of home, they think about mom and them. And that's where your stuff is. That's where your security is. That's where your food is. Home sweet home. Home, 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 home. Can you come up with a sentence using the word home to sell your services? For example, if you sold, it's not happy, it's actually the word home. If you sold fitness, for example, personal training services. I have a friend of mine here that happens to help people with that. If you sold fitness, can you come up with a sentence using the word home to sell your personal training? Here's an example. If you let me help you to regain your ideal body, everyone in your home will notice it. Everyone in your home will appreciate you more because your energy level will be higher. Home, home, home. Now, if you could come up with a sentence that lets the clients be the star of the story, a sentence that lets the clients be the star of the story that includes both the word love and home in the same sentence. And if you deliver it with a good voice tonality, it can take on an almost hypnotic effect on your clients. You're going to love going home knowing that. You're going to love home. Okay? Find your sentence. How you doing, Brother Colin? Find your sentence using the word love. I want you to use the word love much more often and use the word home much more often. There's some magical words. Have you ever bought anything just because it appeared? Angela said, my services are mobile. I can definitely come to your home. Exactly. That's a great sentence. My services are mobile and I can definitely come to your home. By the way, don't confuse home and house. A house is where other people live. A home is where your clients live or your potential clients. Amen? Amen. Love home. I bumped into a guy, like I said before, I've been training salespeople for a very long time. And maybe 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, I gave a class to a bunch of telemarketers. And I told them over the phone to sell their services, they should use love and home. Now, there was this one guy there, a younger white guy, and he took that to heart. And I bumped into him, and he said it's been at least 10 years since he took my class. And he told me that he used those 2 words to put him in the top of his industry, and he never forgot it. He was one of the top people in this industry with just that little tip of using love comfortably and often, and the word home comfortably and often. Now, I told you about these two words, and I also said use it in a good voice tonality. Now, we see we have a couple of ladies on here tonight, like Angela. Like Angela's a happily married lady, but back when she wasn't married, when she was dating, if a guy came to her and said, hey, Angela, I think you're great. I want to go on a date with you. His probability would be successful would be lower because of his voice tonality was off for what he was trying to ask. But if he had said it to her in a good voice tonality, a pleasing voice tonality. Hello, Angela, I've seen you around, and I would love to take you to dinner and sit across the table from you and watch you eat. You know, that would be much more likely to be successful if she had some interest in him. Truth, that you're not going to be successful like that. How you doing, Sister Brenda? Love and home. Emotion versus logic. Quick sales story for you. Two men work in a jewelry store, a diamond store. How you doing, Anita? Thanks for coming through. Two men working in a diamond store. And one of the men, hello, Dee Dee, how you doing? And one of the men studies diamonds to the nth. He knows all about them. He knows all about cut, clarity, and carat. He knows the difference between African diamonds and Egyptian diamonds. He studies where the diamonds are made, how they're cut, how they're transported. And he loves to show off his knowledge in the presence of his potential clients. They come in the store and he's kind of like pompous with it. And he brags about, yes, well, these diamonds here are this way and that way. And these diamonds here are this way and that way. And he gets outsold every month by the other guy in the office. The other guy in the office doesn't know nearly as much as he does about diamonds. And it puzzles him. Why does that guy keep outselling me? Well, the other guy who doesn't understand nearly as much about diamonds simply loves diamonds. And he sells them as if he loved them. Whatever your service is, do you love it? Do you love what your service is? Or can you ratchet up your love for your service? Can you ratchet up your love for your potential clients? Here's the thing. Everybody's bullcrap meter is set on high. So you can't fool anybody anymore. Whatever you're really thinking in your head about what you're offering, it shines through your eyes and it resonates in your voice. You can't fake the funk at all. So I'm going to say this to you. Don't even offer anything that you don't love and you don't believe in yourself, because they can all tell. They can all tell. Can I get an amen on that? Amen means you heard, understand, and agree. Can I get an amen on that point? My sister Dee Dee, that's on here right now, she sells baked goods. She bakes. And baking is part of her personal therapy. And she uses baking to help other people to relieve their stressors, teaching them how and eating her food, okay? She demonstrates her love through her food. Now, a lot of people make cakes. A lot of people make pies, but Dee Dee loves them. And she can offer them with love. Offer them with love. I got a couple of amens. That means you guys heard, understand, and agree. And I appreciate you for your amens. My amen corner. Amen. I got all ladies that saying amen. Where do my fellas go? Where do my fellas go? It's 9:19. So we've been talking now for 15 minutes already. Has anyone already gotten any value in this conversation of love versus, emotion versus logic? Emotion versus logic. Let's say, for example, you sold real estate and you have a young couple in front of you and you're telling them about you find a great value for them. Thank you, Derek, for your amen. You find a great value for them. This is a fictional story. If you find a great value for them and you believe it's the right home for them and you've searched everything and you're ready to showcase it for them and they're hesitant. Well, let's keep looking. But you know that this is the right property for them. You believe it's the right property for them. If you really believe it, don't you owe it to them to demonstrate and to offer it to them and to motivate them to take an action? Here's the other thing too. When you're offering your services and you're using emotion, your personal integrity is at stake. Your personal integrity is at stake. That means you have to offer your services as if you know that they're better off, as if you know that they're going to be better off. If they decide to give you the money that you're asking for and they take your service or they take your product, do you know that they're better off? If you're certain that they're better off, if they invest the money that you're asking with you, then you owe them to motivate them. You owe it to them. You owe it to them to motivate them to take an action. There's this thing called the sin of the desert. The sin of the desert. Do you know what the sin of the desert is? I'll just tell you. The sin of the desert is when you know where the water is, but you won't tell anyone else. If you know where the water is, but you're keeping that knowledge to yourself. The sin of the desert is the height of selfishness. If you offer something that you believe to your core that will benefit people, you cannot keep that water to yourself. You cannot keep that solution to the problem to yourself. You cannot keep the answers to the question to yourself. You owe it to the world to share your good news. There used to be a television show in this country in the 50s and 60s called The Millionaire. The Millionaire. You can still find this show, episodes of this show on YouTube. Now, The Millionaire, here's the premise of the show. There was this man who was a multimillionaire, and he liked to give away checks for $1 million to perfect strangers. He wanted to give away $1 million to a stranger, and he hired a salesman. And the salesman was a guy named Michael Anthony. And Michael Anthony's job was to go into neighborhoods. His job was to go into a neighborhood. How you doing, Sir Marketing? And he would knock on strangers' doors at random. And he would attempt to get into their house and just talk with them. How you doing? My name is Michael Anthony. And I just want to know, can I talk to you for a little bit? Now, some of the time, people would be very rude to him. They'd slam the door, get the hell away from here, because they didn't want to be bothered at their home. But sometimes they would say, sure, let's talk. And he would talk to them, and based upon that conversation, he would go into his jacket pocket and hand them a check for $1 million. Now, when people were rude to him and they didn't take his offer just for the conversation, his attitude was fantastic. No problem. He just walked down the driveway and go to the next house because he knew that he had something in his chest pocket that they really wanted. Now, that's called selling it with a millionaire attitude. Selling it with a millionaire attitude. Like they're better off if they buy from you. Greetings, Sir Markedu. They're lucky if they buy from you. That will be true if what you're offering is good. That will be true if what you're offering makes them better off. Here's something else you need to know. No one on purpose does anything that they believe will make their current situation worse off. If they think they'll be worse off hiring you in any way, they're not going to. If they think their situation won't be improved and really improved greatly in any way, then they can buy from you. Does that make sense to anybody? No one's trying to make their situation worse off. So you have to frame what you're offering to them in such a way that they know that they're better off and much better off. I'm happy that Sir Markedu is here because he sells with the strength of his conviction and the strength of his heart, and he sells with love. Now, he does it with enthusiasm and showmanship. And it's the kind of enthusiasm and showmanship that has to come from in here, inside of you. And it comes through him so that he can offer it to the world. Now, if he was half-stepping it, let's say he was tired and didn't really feel like it, and he had a potential client in front of him, and he goes, I can help you to go into business and help you with this right here. And he half-stepped it. His potential of being successful will be greatly diminished. Well, I don't want to come across as pushy. That whole concept of you coming across as pushy is mostly in your head and not theirs. They're not thinking that. Okay, I know you might think they're thinking that, but most of the time they're not. They're thinking that he really wants it. He really cares about it. When I was an over-the-road salesperson, I used to be the top salesperson at least 6 out of 12 months of the year. And when the months when I wasn't the top dog, I was number 2, but never below that. After a while, after I learned how to sell, after I learned how to do it. And I wanted every sale. I felt like if I crossed the threshold, I call it the threshold. If I crossed the threshold into their home or their office, if I got inside their place of business, I really believed that lucky them that I'm there, and they're going to have to buy from me. If they chose to commit the crime that was in my head, if they tried to not buy what I was offering, I call that they were committing a crime for me. Okay, if they committed the crime of not buying from me, then I would try to rescue them and give them a chance to make the right decision, because buying what I offered was the right thing to do. My friend Anita, she's on here right now, and she helps people to take in the proper nutrients. She helps people to have the right nutrition to restore their bodies, to regain the bodies that they want, to take care of their temples. That's what she does. And she does a good job with it. She's studying her craft, and she does a great job of asking enough people to say yes. Speaking about asking enough people, there's something that's hard to get away from. It's already 9:27. Oh my gosh. I have more stuff I wanted to cover, but our time is about done. Dang, I planned on being here from 9 to 9:30. So in the 27 minutes that I've been live, has anyone found value? Just in this little bitty point here, has anyone found enough value that made their time coming here tonight worth their while? Has your time been worth your while already? How you doing, Brother Keith? I got a low battery, I got 10%, and we'll be done shortly. Now, I'm going to invite you, every one of you guys, to consider the Selling Your Services Academy. All of you guys that came here tonight, my brother Jacatrin got some value, and I appreciate you so much, because he's a soldier out in the streets. Every time I see him, he's in a position where he is helping. He puts himself out there to help the community. He gives talks, he gives encouragement, he uplifts people, which uplifts communities. How you doing, Vanette? She found value as well. Anita she found some value. Again, my name is Brian McNeill. I have an academy that I'm going to invite you guys to take part in. It's called the Selling Your Services Academy. Angela Wood says she always gets value in this. These 30 minutes have come by and gone very, very fast. But I wanted to just give you something. My plan is every Monday night at 9 o'clock is to teach you something that's what I call immediately actionable. Something that you can use right away. You can start using love tomorrow. You can start using home tomorrow. Didi says every time, Brian. And that means something to me coming from you, Didi, because I can check my Facebook memories and I can see that Didi has been in my circle for many, many years now. She's been in my classes. She's been in my live workshops. She's been on this Monday Night Sales Mastery since 2017 that I know of. Because in 2017, I did this for the whole year, Monday Night Sales Mastery. And then I picked it up again this year, started doing it every Monday nights. Everyone here that would want to know what it takes to be a part of the Selling Your Services Academy. Again, to hire me individually or have me in your organization, I'm going to cost some money. But the Selling Your Services Academy, I believe, is a way to make the services affordable to anyone. You can try the Selling Your Services Academy out for just $25, or you can become a member for $60 per month. If you're a member of the Selling Your Services Academy, you get high levels of sales training every week that you can tune into, and you get a 30-minute Selling Your Services consultation every month. So everyone that's in the academy right now, they get a one-on-one with me for about half an hour, one-on-one, talking about their current situation once a month. I always offer a gift every time I come on here. The gift I offer is the 1-2-3 formula. It's a free ebook, the 1-2-3 formula. And what the 1-2-3 formula is very, very brief. It's only about 5 or 6 pages. What it does is it teaches you how to tell your story, how to tell people what you do in such a way that you're telling what you do at the same time selling what you do. And it also gives you a roadmap of what to do with your time. What do you do when you don't have a client in front of you? Nuts and bolts. What do you do? So if you want the free ebook, just put 1-2-3 in the comments, 1-2-3 in the comments, and I'll get it to you. Again, this is Brian McNeill. It's now 9:30. I am very, very disciplined when it comes to time. I thank you guys all for coming here. Put 1-2-3 in the comments if you want it. If anyone found value tonight, Man, I wish I could bring someone on live with me. I say this every week. I wish I could bring someone on live to kind of give a summary of what they got tonight. But we're not going to do that tonight, and I am going to be respectful to your time. Thank you guys very much. I will be back here next Monday night at 9. I am going to conduct my training on Wednesdays. Every week, Wednesdays, I do that, but that's paid for. Okay, we thank you as well, Angela. All of you guys who chose to tune in tonight, you honor me with your presence, and I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Share the good news. If you found value tonight, please tell someone else to consider coming to Monday Night Sales Mastery, or to consider working with Brian McNeill. Tina Hunt, oh my Lord, Tina Hunt, I love Tina Hunt. Tina Hunt is, she helps women to look their very best every day. And she does that with her consultations, her consulting, and with the products that she offers. She offers cosmetics and makeup and coaching to help women enhance their look, to enhance their confidence, and to look their very best every day. Well, that's all I'm going to talk about tonight. Thank you guys very much. It's now 9:32. I went 2 minutes over. I hope you guys are okay with that. You guys have a beautiful rest of your weekend. I am very, very easy to connect with. I see who put in the 1, 2, 3 format, and I will get it to you. God bless you guys. Have a great rest of your evening. Bye-bye.